Hey all, welcome back. So, in today's video, we are going to talk about something which is very interesting and also important in SystemVerilog, which is mailboxes. So, in the previous sessions, we have already talked about semaphores. And if you didn't see that, I'll link that in the description box. You can go there and check it out because only if you understand semaphores, you can easily understand the mailboxes. So that is why first go check it out there and then learn this particular thing about mailboxes. So when it comes to mailboxes play a very important role in system Verilog coding. Why is it? Because generally, as the name itself it suggests, mailbox. So generally, what you do in mails, you will send some information from from one person to other person through emails. Just in the same way, in SV test bench architecture, you're having lots of components like generator, driver, monitor, right, DUT. So there are several components within your test bench architecture. So when you want to send some information between these components, okay, or else for example, since you will be designing complex circuits, you will be verifying complex circuits. So every circuit, every code of yours will be consisting of number of processes. And if you want to send some information from one process to other process, so how you will be doing that? You will be doing that with the help of these mailboxes. Generally, whenever you want to send some information from one component to other component, what you basically do is you will put that information into this mailbox so that that information is internally stored by this mailbox. So whoever want to get that information, they will get it. Like which component, for example, you are putting some information in your generator and the driver wants to get it. So what it will do, it will retrieve the data from the generator and it will get it. So in this way, the information is shared between the components with the help of these mailboxes. Let me show you an example here so that you will be easily understood. So if you see that this is my test bench architecture, sorry, this is my test bench code for the system verilog. If you see here, this is my generator. Now in the generator, if you see here, you are having a mailbox. So in the same way, in driver also consisting of this mailbox. So in this way, depending so you will be putting some information in your generator and driver will be getting it, and from driver the monitor will be taking it. So in this way, when you want to send the information between components, you will be using this particular mailbox concept. So that is why, as I told you, mailbox is very important and also very easy to understand compared to the remaining concepts. So hope you got an idea on what is this mailbox. Generally, it is used in order to share the information or messages from one component to other component or from one process to another process within your test bench. Right. So, basically, when it comes to mailbox, it behaves like first in first out. When you see this first in first out, you will get an idea of queues, is it or not? So while I'm explaining about arrays, I have already explained about queues. If you didn't see that, I'll link that in the description box also. You can go there, check it out. So queues work on this first in first out principle. Similarly, mailbox also will be behaving on first in first out principle. So depending upon the size, just like in semaphores, you will be declaring the size, right? Similarly, in mailboxes also, you will be declaring the size. So depending upon the size you are declaring for your mailbox, they are categorized into bounded mailbox and unbounded mailbox. Okay, if you know about queues, you can understand what is the meaning of this bounded and unbounded. Basically, when you are mentioning the size for the mailbox, that is mentioned as bounded mailbox. And if you are not mentioning any size, that means it is unlimited in size. So in such cases, you will be talking it as unbounded mailbox, right? So in this way, when depending upon the size that you are choosing for your mailbox, it can be either bounded or unbounded, right? So again in this, depending upon the types of data that you are sending, okay, through, but because as I already told you, what does the mailbox do? It will just carry the information. Information is nothing but your stimulus. Is it or not? It will be carrying your transactions or your stimulus from one component to another component in your test bench, right? So your stimulus can be of any data type. Is it or not? It can be either string, or it can be either real numbers, it can be either integers, right? It can be either enum data type. So in this way your data can be of any type. So depending upon the data type you are choosing also, these mailboxes are categorized into two types. So one is generic mailbox, the second one is parameterized mailbox. So basically generic mailbox is nothing but it is a default mailbox, we'll call it as. Basically through this generic mailbox we can send any type of data type. Like you can send either strings, or you can send either real numbers, or you can send enum data type. Like this you can put any data type in this generic mailbox. So it is by default generic mailbox is active in nature. But when you want your mailbox to carry only particular data type information, that means when you want to customize it, so in such cases you will be going for parameterized mailbox. Parameterized mailbox means your mailbox, for example, when you are creating a string parameterized mailbox, then that means your particular mailbox can send only string data type information. It doesn't take any other data type into consideration, right? So that is about this parameterized data type. So coming to the syntaxes of this generic and parameterized data type, parameterized mailboxes also. For anything, you will be mentioning that it is a mailbox. Since this mailbox is a inbuilt words of mailbox and any individual name, like mailbox name, for example mailbox, since if you see in the before example I have made it as gen to drive or drive to gen. So depending upon the generally what kind of for what work you are using, for what work that you are creating that mailbox, you will generally keep that as a generalized name. Okay, so mailbox and mailbox name. But when you are going it as a parameterized mailbox, then what you have to do is along with mailbox and mailbox name, in between you will include hash and type. Type means which type of data type. For example, if you are mentioning it as hash int, then it can send only integers. And if you are mentioning it as hash string, then it can send only string data type information in such way. So hash means parameterized. You already know about the parameters, right? So mailbox, hash, type, and mailbox name. So this is the syntax for parameterized mailbox. And if it is generic mailbox, you don't need to mention any kind of data type because it can send any type of information, right? So this is about the mailbox. So if I want to repeat it again, first thing is it is based on the sizes, it is categorized into bounded and unbounded, and based on the data types that it is carrying, it will be again categorized into generic and parameterized mailboxes, right? So just like you have seen the methods in semaphore, similarly in mailbox also you are having methods. But compared to semaphores, as I already told you, basically you will be using, in order to communicate the data, in order to send the information from one process to another process, or from one component to another component, you will be mostly using mailboxes compared to that of semaphores. It's not that you are not using semaphores, but mostly you are using mailboxes. Why is it? Because it is more flexible compared to that of this semaphores. Why is it? Because mailbox you can create either bounded mailbox or unbounded mailbox. And also if you want to customize it, like if you want to send only particular information through your mailbox, you can also do it in the mailbox, which is not possible in case of semaphores. And also mailbox methods are much more sophisticated compared to that of your semaphores. So basically in mailbox you are having these methods. So new, this you already know in semaphores. Okay, basically when you are creating new, that means you are creating the memory for that particular data, space for that data. So whichever data you want to send it first, as I already told you, you will be putting in the mailbox. So that mailbox should store this data somewhere so that some other component will be getting it. So for creation of that space you will be using new. If you are giving any number inside this new, those many memory locations are created. If you are not going to give any number, then it is unbounded mailbox. You can just tell it like that. Okay, if there is any number within it, then it is a bounded mailbox. If it is not given any number, if you are just leaving it as empty space, then it is an unbounded mailbox, right? The second one is put. This you already have seen in semaphore. Put is nothing but when you want to put some information into the mailbox, you will be using this particular method, put. Okay, so put within braces, what you want to put, you will be writing it inside this braces, right? When you want to put something into the mailbox, right? And next, try put. So the difference between this try put and put is, if you basically see in the mailbox, put is considered as a blocking task and try put is considered as non-blocking task or function. Why is it? Because put means basically what is happening when you are putting something into the mailbox, until someone is taking it and using it, you can't do another work. Okay, you can't use it for another task. Okay, for example, in semaphore also you have seen this. If I am keeping if I'm putting four keys, and if some other process have taken those four keys, until that particular process have kept those four keys, the remaining things can't be done within for that particular task. I have already explained this clearly in the semaphore. You can go there and check it out. But when it comes to try put, this is not the case. Why is it? Because even though you are using that particular task or function, by using this try put, what will happen? You can keep something into that particular mailbox. That means even though some other component is using that mailbox also, you can try keeping it. You can try put your work into that. Okay, if for example, if your mailbox is full, or if your mailbox is bounded and all the keys, for example, if you are chosen your mailbox size as 4, and you have you are keeping four keys and you are taking those four keys, so what is now happening? Your mailbox is full because someone has already using the four keys that you have created. So which is why, since the mailbox is full, if even though you try put something into it, it will just tell you that yes, it is busy, so that it will return the status to you like it is 0. That means someone is using that, so it will return the status as 0. For example, if the if you have created four keys and someone are using two keys, then it will return you yes, you can use two keys if you require. I'm having two keys, and if you require, you can use it. You can do it with tripod. That is why this is non-blocking, because two process can work at the same time by using this tripod. But put is not like that, because even though it is having four keys, even though two keys are taken also, with the remaining two keys you can't use it until all the four keys are placed into that particular mailbox. The other one can't use it. Okay, so that is the difference between put and tripod. Hope you got it. If you are still confused, you can ask me. I'll make a separate video on what is the difference between this put and tripod. But if you are asking this only, I'm going to explain it. Right? So that is the difference between put and tripod. The similar thing about get and try get also. Why is it? Because put means someone is some component or someone is keeping something. So get means someone is retrieving that information. For example, if you see in the test bench architecture, your transaction will be put into generator, and the driver is getting that particular transaction or stimulus. So basically generator is putting it, driver is getting it. Okay, so that is put. Similar difference between get and try get also. Okay, I don't want to explain again about this put, try put and get, try get. Okay, until and unless you ask me. And then the last one is peak. Okay, peak is nothing but basically if some process is happening into that particular thing. Okay, and if you want to know what kind of process is happening, what kind of transformation is going to done from one component to another component, what is the data that is present in that particular mailbox, if you want to know all these things, you will be going for peak method. So it is similar to get method, but basically get means you are getting the information, but by using the peak you will understand, okay, this is the data that is present in that particular thing. Okay, delete the data. This is similar to get method in nature, but this task doesn't delete the data from the mailbox. Why is that? Is what? Because once you are getting the data, because as I told you, with mailbox you will be putting the data. Okay, after putting the data, if you are getting it, that you are retrieving it, that means you are taking it. Since you are taking it, it is going away, it is being deleted. But peeking is not like that. It is not getting it, it is just seeing it. Okay, you're it is not, you're keeping the keys and you're taking the keys, but here someone is just looking at the keys, like how many keys are present. Okay, that is the option for that you see only in mailbox. So this is peek option. Okay, peek means only you will be seeing what is the data that is present within your mailbox. Okay, that is about this taking. Okay, and try peak. So basically the same thing, like try peak. Also, if someone again is speaking and if you want to again peak, then that is the difference basically. Just like get, try, get, peak, try, peak also. Okay, and then number. Okay, this is the thing that was only present in mailbox. That is, here this function returns number of data elements that are currently present in mailbox. So basically, what are the elements that are present in mailbox? If you want to see what are the elements that are actually present, then you will be using this number option, right? So this is about the mailbox methods. So let us see a small example on a basic mailbox. Right, if you see here, this is my mailbox. I have created three. Okay, so new of three, that means I can send three data types, like three keys I have created. So within my first process, I am taking like in two keys. I am just using two keys. One is int data type, another one is string data type. Because this is the generic mailbox, I can send any kind of data type. So I am here using two data types, value and name. Within value, I am assigning 5. Within name, I am assigning the string. Okay, so I'm putting these two things into my mailbox. How you will be putting it? Mailbox name. What is the mailbox name? MB dot put. And what you want to put? You want to put value. You want to put string. Either you can keep both in one go itself, or you can do it individually, like m put value, m put string. So after putting these two values, I want to display those two things within my process A. Okay, and then I have created another process where I am taking two data types, value and name. Okay, but what I am doing, I am getting the values from this particular. If you see here, I didn't assign any value to my particular value and name. Now what I am doing, you can write either a same name here, or you can just use another value also, like value and name. So what I am doing, mb dot get value. So I'm getting the value here, I'm getting the name here. Okay, if you see here, I'm getting the value and name as value, and string I have kept it as value and string. Okay, so I'm getting those two things here. Here if you see, you can either give the data type, or you can either give the value also. Like if you see here, you can write it as mb dot put name. Okay, you can write it as name itself, but it is also one more way, like you can give it as name or you can give it as string. So I'm just putting something, I'm getting something, that's it. So within for conjoin, process A, process B, so whatever that you are mentioning within process A and B, they will be starting at same zero time. But since I am using the two values here, so process B can't use, because it is just put and get, not try put, try get. So that is why this is the blocking process. So until process A completes the putting process, the process B's getting process can't be done. Okay, so if you see here, put data is 5 and string. Even though I didn't assign any value to my value and name, since I'm getting it from my particular process A, so the retrieved data, so I'm retrieving it, so that is 5 and string again here in my process B also. Got my point? So this is how you will be using this mailboxes, just putting and getting. Okay, in this you will be understanding clearly once we'll explain about the system Verilog testbench architecture code. There you can understand the importance of mailbox most importantly. right? So stay tuned for remaining classes on System Verilog. We almost have come to an end. We are having some other concepts like assertions and coverage and everything. Okay, so stay tuned because these are very important concepts like assertions and coverage and all. Mailbox is also really important. So if you have any doubts regarding this particular mailbox or else semaphores or else any concept in System Verilog, you can ping me. I try to explain it as much as possible. Right? So that is all for today. Thank you all.